You have a treasure chest in front of you. Inside there are jewels, gold, and everything you've ever wanted. But there's a catch. If you don't open the chest, if you don't use what's inside, it slowly begins to lose its value until eventually it's gone. It's a treasure. It's your potential. We all have the ability to create greatness, but there's a problem. Many of us hold on to our abilities, our skills, our talents, and we tell ourselves, I'll use them later, never comes. And over time, the power we once had starts slipping through our fingers. Success, no matter how you define it, is not something that happens overnight. It is not a product of one big event or decision. Instead, success is the result of many small, consistent actions compounded over time. The power of consistent action is often underestimated, but it is one of the most important factors in determining whether we achieve our goals or fall short. In this section, we will explore why consistency is so vital, how it leads to mastery, and why you should embrace it in your own life. When we think about success, we often imagine a single dramatic moment, the breakthrough idea, the promotion, the accomplishment that changes everything. However, behind every success story is a long journey of consistent, day in and day out effort. Whether you're an athlete, an entrepreneur, or a student, success is rarely the result of one giant leap. Instead, it is about making small, disciplined steps each and every day. Consistency is the key to progress. When you repeatedly take action toward your goal, no matter how small the action seems in the moment, you begin to build momentum. This momentum propels you forward and eventually leads to breakthroughs. However, it is important to realize that this process is cumulative. What you do today is shaping tomorrow's outcomes. Each action compounds like interest in a bank account, building on itself to create results that are far greater than the sum of its parts. At the heart of consistent action is habit. A habit is simply an action that has been repeated enough times to become automatic. When you form a habit, you no longer have to expend energy thinking about it. You simply do it, which makes it easier to keep moving forward, even on days when motivation is low. Think about brushing your teeth, for example. You don't have to remind yourself to do it. It's a habit that you have developed over time. It's something you do consistently without thinking about it, and as a result, you avoid dental problems that would arise if you neglected your oral health. Similarly, habits are the foundation of success in any area of life. If you want to be successful in your career, you need to develop habits like showing up on time, working with focus, and continually improving your skills. If you want to improve your health, you need to develop habits around eating well and exercising regularly. Each day that you perform these habits is another step toward your ultimate goal. Despite the clear benefits of consistent action, many people struggle to make it a regular part of their lives. The reason is simple: consistency requires effort, discipline, and patience. When we start something new, the initial excitement can drive us to put in a lot of effort. But over time, that excitement fades, and the challenges of sticking with a goal become more apparent. For example, how many people start the new year with the resolution to get in shape, only to give up by February? The problem isn't necessarily that they don't have the ability or the desire to succeed, it's that they lack the discipline to stay consistent. They fail to recognize that success comes not from bursts of effort, but from the regular, unglamorous work that happens behind the scenes. People also struggle with consistency because they focus too much on the end result and too little on the process. They want to lose 20 pounds, become fluent in a new language, or make a certain amount of money, but they don't realize that these results are the byproducts of consistent actions over time. The key is not to obsess over the end goal, but to stay committed to the daily actions that will get you there. Small steps, repeated consistently, lead to monumental results. So one of the most powerful aspects of consistency is the idea that small actions can lead to big results. Many people underestimate the impact of seemingly insignificant daily actions. It's easy to think that one small step doesn't matter after all. What difference does one extra hour of work make? What does one more healthy meal really do? The answer is that it does make a difference. Small actions, when repeated consistently, accumulate over time and have a compounding effect. If you practice 1 hour of a new skill every day, in a year you will have put in 365 hours of work. This amount of time will undoubtedly lead to a high level of mastery. The key is not to be overwhelmed by the enormity of the task, but to focus on what can be done today and to keep doing it each day. This concept is often referred to as the compound effect. The compound effect is the principle that small, consistent actions lead to massive results over time. Just as a penny doubled every day grows into millions over the course of a month, consistent effort in any area of your life will eventually lead to extraordinary success. But you must stick with it long enough to see the payoff. While the power of consistent action is undeniable, it's important to acknowledge that setbacks will occur. There will be days when you don't feel like doing the work. There will be challenges that seem insurmountable, and there will be moments of doubt. These are the moments when consistency is tested the most. But here's the truth: setbacks are a part of the process. No one achieves success without facing obstacles along the way. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the absence of setbacks, but the ability to persist in spite of them. When you encounter challenges, the key is to keep moving forward. Don't let one bad day or one failure derail your progress. Remember, consistency is not about perfection. It's about showing up every day, even when things don't go according to plan. When you keep going, even when it's hard, you build resilience, and resilience is one of the most important ingredients for long-term success. One of the greatest benefits of consistent action is that it leads to mastery. Mastery is not achieved through occasional bursts of effort, but through consistent practice and learning over time. Whether you're learning to play the piano, running a business, or developing leadership skills, it is the consistent effort that transforms you from a beginner into an expert. Malcolm Gladwell's concept of the 10,000-hour rule highlights this point. According to Gladwell, it takes about 10,000 hours of deliberate practice to achieve mastery in any field. While this figure might vary depending on the individual and the activity, the key takeaway is that mastery comes through consistent, focused effort over a long period of time. The more hours you put in, the better you become. But you won't reach that level of mastery if you're not consistently showing up to do the work. Consistency also leads to continuous improvement. The more you practice, the better you get. And the better you get, the more motivated you become to keep going. It's a positive feedback loop. As you see small improvements, you're encouraged to continue your efforts. The result is a gradual but steady progression toward your goals. The mindset that supports consistent action is one of perseverance, patience, and long-term thinking. It's about understanding that success is a journey, not a destination. In today's world of instant gratification, it's easy to be impatient and expect quick results. But the most successful people understand that true success comes from sustained effort over time. When you embrace the mindset of consistency, you stop focusing on immediate rewards. Instead, you recognize that every small action is a building block for something greater. You learn to appreciate the process as much as the result. And in doing so, you develop the resilience and discipline needed to keep going, no matter how long the journey takes. If you want to experience the power of consistent action in your own life, start by identifying one area where you want to improve. Whether it's your health, career, finances, or personal development, pick one goal and commit to taking small, consistent actions toward it every day. The key is to focus on the process, not just the outcome. Set up daily habits and routines that keep you moving forward. Don't worry about how long it will take or how far you have to go. Just commit to the process and trust that the results will come. Success is not an event, it is a process. The power of consistent action is available to anyone who is willing to commit to it. And the best part is that you don't have to be perfect. You just have to show up every day and take that next step. Over time, your efforts will compound, and the results will speak for themselves. Personal growth is one of the most important aspects of a fulfilling life. It's what allows us to move forward, evolve, and unlock our true potential. However, this growth doesn't happen automatically. It requires constant nurturing, attention, and effort. The moment we begin to neglect our personal development, however, we begin to lose ground. Neglect may seem harmless at first, but its long-term impact is profound, gradually eroding our abilities, confidence, and aspirations. In this section, we will explore the deep effects of neglect on personal growth, how it manifests in our lives, and why it's crucial to address it before it becomes irreversible. Neglect is a subtle, insidious force. Unlike a sudden setback or failure, which is usually obvious and can prompt us into action, neglect is like the slow corrosion of metal, imperceptible at first, but damaging over time. When we neglect personal growth, we're not always aware of the immediate effects. There may be no visible signs of deterioration at first, which makes it easy to ignore. However, as time passes, the damage becomes apparent, often manifesting in areas like our skills, confidence, relationships, and emotional well-being. The human mind and spirit are like a garden. If you plant a seed, it needs regular watering, sunlight, and care in order to grow into a strong, healthy plant. But if you neglect it, even for a short time, the plant begins to wither. You might not notice the first few wilting leaves, but over time, the damage becomes irreversible. Personal growth works the same way. When you stop nurturing it, you start losing the vitality that once existed. The first noticeable impact of neglect in personal growth is stagnation. Stagnation is the inability to progress, to move forward, or to develop in any meaningful way. You may find yourself in the same position with the same thoughts, same challenges, and same goals year after year. The longer you allow stagnation to settle in, the more difficult it becomes to break free. This is the silent killer of progress. When you neglect your personal growth, you cease to challenge yourself. You stop acquiring new knowledge, developing new skills, and setting higher goals. Instead, you fall into a comfort zone where nothing changes and your capacity for growth diminishes. Over time, this stagnation can become a permanent state, one that is difficult to escape from without significant effort and dedication. Personal growth requires constant learning and self-reflection. If you neglect to learn and grow, you risk becoming outdated, irrelevant, and disconnected from the world around you. The world is constantly changing, and without a commitment to growth, you will inevitably be left behind. Neglecting growth means refusing to adapt and embrace new challenges. As a result, your personal development becomes obsolete. Neglecting personal growth often leads to a gradual erosion of confidence. Confidence is built through achievements, self-knowledge, and constant improvement. When we neglect these aspects, we begin to doubt our abilities and become unsure of our worth. This self-doubt may seem minor at first, but over time it chips away at our self-esteem and self-worth. Confidence is not something that remains constant, it is dynamic. It requires nurturing and reinforcing. When you neglect your personal growth, you are effectively neglecting the building blocks of your confidence. You stop developing the skills and mindset necessary to face challenges, and this lack of preparation manifests as insecurity and uncertainty. The longer neglect persists, the more profound the loss of confidence becomes. It's not just a matter of feeling unsure about one's abilities, it becomes a deep, pervasive belief that you are not capable or deserving of success. This self-doubt can hinder your ability to take risks, make decisions, and move forward in life. It can even keep you stuck in unhealthy situations or relationships simply because you no longer believe that you can do better. Neglecting personal growth can also have a significant impact on emotional well-being. Growth and development are tied to our emotional health. When we stop focusing on self-improvement, we are less equipped to handle life's challenges. We may find ourselves overwhelmed by stress, anxiety, and negative emotions because we haven't built the resilience necessary to deal with difficulties. In the absence of personal growth, emotional stagnation sets in. We lose the ability to manage our emotions effectively, and negative feelings can take over our lives. Neglecting personal growth means neglecting emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize and manage our emotions, as well as the emotions of others. Without this skill, we become emotionally reactive, and our responses to challenges become more about survival than thriving. Emotional neglect can also lead to feelings of isolation and disconnection. When we aren't investing in our growth, we become less engaged with the world around us. We disconnect from our passions, our goals, and the people who matter. This emotional detachment can leave us feeling lonely, unfulfilled, and disconnected from our true selves. Personal growth is not just about improving ourselves, it also has a profound impact on our relationships. Neglecting personal growth often means neglecting our relationships as we become less aware of our emotional needs, less capable of communicating effectively, and less willing to invest time and energy into others. When we don't grow, our ability to form meaningful, healthy relationships diminishes. Personal growth involves developing empathy, understanding, and communication skills, qualities that are crucial for building strong connections with others. When we neglect these aspects, we may find ourselves in shallow or toxic relationships, unable to truly connect with others on a deep level. Neglecting growth also leads to selfishness. As we focus less on our own development, we may become more focused on our immediate needs and desires without considering the needs of others. This lack of awareness and empathy can strain relationships and lead to conflicts, misunderstandings, and isolation. Neglecting personal growth can lead to a lack of purpose and direction in relationships. As we fail to grow, we may feel unfulfilled in our partnerships and friendships, leading to frustration and dissatisfaction. Relationships thrive when both individuals are growing and evolving together. Without this shared growth, relationships stagnate and may eventually deteriorate. Neglecting personal growth can also have significant financial implications. Whether it's neglecting to develop professional skills, failing to take opportunities for career advancement, or avoiding financial education, neglecting growth in the financial realm can lead to a lifetime of struggle. Professional growth and financial success are often tied together. When we fail to invest in our skills, knowledge, and abilities, we limit our earning potential. Without growth, we are less likely to advance in our careers or take advantage of opportunities that could lead to financial security. Neglecting to develop our financial literacy can also lead to poor financial decisions, such as spending without purpose or failing to save for the future. The longer you neglect personal growth in your financial life, the more difficult it becomes to change your financial trajectory. You may find yourself stuck in a cycle of debt, low-paying jobs, or financial instability simply because you didn't take the time to grow and improve your financial knowledge and skills. The long-term consequences of neglecting personal growth are far-reaching and can affect every area of your life. Over time, the cumulative effects of neglect can result in a life of missed opportunities, unfulfilled potential, and unachieved dreams. The longer you let neglect persist, the more entrenched it becomes, making it harder and harder to break free. When you neglect your personal growth, you stop evolving. You become a version of yourself that is stuck in the past, unable to move forward or create a future that aligns with your desires. This can lead to feelings of regret, frustration, and resentment. You may find yourself looking back, wishing you had done things differently, only to realize that it's too late to change. Neglect also fosters a mindset of complacency. When you neglect growth, you begin to accept things as they are, rather than striving for something better. This complacency can lead to a sense of resignation, where you no longer believe that change is possible or worth pursuing. You begin to settle for mediocrity, which can be one of the most devastating consequences of neglect. As time goes on, the impact of neglect becomes even more pronounced. Opportunities that were once available may no longer be within reach. Relationships that could have been salvaged may have deteriorated beyond repair. Personal goals and aspirations that could have been achieved may now seem impossible. The window for growth and change starts to close, and the regret of neglect becomes a weight that can hold you back for the rest of your life. Neglecting personal growth is not a trivial matter. It has deep, lasting consequences. It's important to recognize the signs of neglect and take proactive steps to address them before it's too late. Personal growth requires consistent effort and attention, and the sooner we commit to it, the better off we'll be in the long run.